Hello everyone, so this is the Smart Garden unboxing. This is the prototype, the Smart Garden, and the plant that I used to test. This is a bell pepper, and now I will explain how it works. So this is the on-off button. Here we have our current interface with users, that are those LEDs. The line below shows us the soil status, and the line above shows us the smart garden system status. Here, red means water level low, green means that the tank of water is full, the level is okay. And here the LED in blue means that the pump is dosing water to the plant. Here we have the sensor that detects the lights, our LDR. It helps us to define when we will turn on the artificial UV light. That's assembled here in this point. And looking this side, the back side, we have this curved pipe, the part from where we can enter the water, and also the water hose that takes the water to the plant. Here in this part we have some deep switches that we currently use to define the irrigation mode, the soil humidity level, okay, that we can call like a low, medium and high humidity. And here we have the cables. One, the power supply cable, and the soil moisture sensor cable. And this is the sensor that we put in the plant ground. So this is the overview of our hardware that we used to call Smart Garden Totem, and now I will show the steps to put it in our test plant. You can see that my bell pepper seems to be too big for the Smart Garden, that I believe that means the project is working. Let's turn it a little bit. Okay, cool, now it's better. And so let's suppose that it's the first time that I will use the Smart Garden. Then, dividing steps, I would say that the step 1 is put the moisture sensor in the ground. That's very simple. I will just take the sensor and put it here in the plant, here in the ground, okay. But let me show you one thing. You can see that the sensor is like a fork, and that we have a mark in the sensor, plastic protection. So I defined that I need to put the sensor until this part touching the ground. Doing this, I believe that I am trying to get a reference for major, putting it in the ground the same way every time. Okay, and then this way I'm putting almost 100% of the sensor in touch with the ground. That's fine, we can go to step 2. In step 2 is put the water hose in the plant. So we take it and I will put it here, pretty close to the sensor. Usually putting this way it's working, so I keep doing here the same for this plant. Let me try to show you how it is. Now I have the sensor and the water hose in the plant already. If in your plant you have some rocks to decorate the plant, it also can be used to help to fix the water hose. It can help. Here I will do it just as a test. because after recording I will move the plant and the smart garden to other place, so just this way, keep in here. So reviewing, we put the sensor after the water hose, and now we can proceed to turn on the system. We check if the power button is off, then we can turn on the power supply and then turn on the button. We will see that after press the button, we will have already a feedback from the system through about the conditions through the LEDs, letting me know if I need to take some action in the system or in the plant. Okay, so that's the show time, and let's go. Cool, it's working. Cool. So now I can tell you about the system according to the LEDs that are on right now. In the line of LEDs for soil status, the green light is saying that the soil humidity is fine. It is within the range that I consider in the code, that is our desired humidity. The LED red is saying that the level in the water tank is low, so I need to fill the tank with water, right? So now I will fill the tank with water here in the back side, the same place that I used to put the water in the smart garden is also the output for the water. So here I have already some water that I will use to fill the tank. And how I know when I have water enough? Here, when the green LED turns on, I know that the water tank is the maximum level. So I know that I can stop to put water in the tank. Okay, let's start to add water, and we will see through the LEDs the change in the level. Okay, it will be our feedback. I have here 2 bottles, and I believe that I will need to use all of it to fill the tank. Okay, let's see. Note that according I am filling the tank, we can see changes in the LEDs for the tank level. Okay, when the red light turns off, it means that it's not in the critical low level anymore. Okay, and the next step is the green LED turns on, indicating that the level high. Look that now the headlight is off. I will add more water, and let's see. Checking the green light. Now it turns on the green light. Okay, so I know that we have it full. Cool, that's okay. Cool. Okay. So we can say that this is the first real interaction that we will have with the smart garden, that is fill the tank of water and let it done to be able to apply the control over the plant. And here, current situation, this is the ideal condition of the system. We will have 2 green LEDs on, meaning that the plant humidity is okay according our set point, and that the water tank is full. And now I will take another plant just as a test too, but before changing the plant, I will show some steps of how proceed with this change. Okay, this smart garden was on, so I just turned it off in the power button here. Now I will remove the humidity sensor. And I will put the water hose here in this part in the water tank. Okay, so it will avoid that we have any accident with water leaking. Note that I removed the humidity sensor You know, maybe over the table. Okay, because if the system is on and we put the humidity sensor in the ground in case of dry soil, probably the system will try to start to dose water, and if the water hose, for example, is not in the plan yet, we would have a messy. Okay, so I put the water hose in the safe place, and we will have a closed circuit of water, okay, with no issues. Look, you can see that the water is moving, but just going back to the tank with no problems. So cool. Alright, I removed the bell pepper and we'll take another plant. And here actually I got some ground that seems to be dry, just to test and try to show how the control works. So let's go. The steps that we did already, same thing. Okay, first thing first, the humidity sensor in the ground. Okay. And yes, it seems to be really dry. Look. Okay, but just as a test, it will work. Okay. Now, the water hose. Fine. Okay, all prepared. We saw with the bell pepper that the sensor were working, so now I'm trying to show the pump dosing water and the LEDs changing the status according the control is applied to the soil. Okay, so this is what we can see. Okay, now let's turn on the smart garden and follow the feedback provided by the LEDs to understand what's happening with the system. Cool, look, red light saying the soil is dry, okay, and the blue LED on to show that the pump start already to send water to the soil. Note that we had already a change in the soil status that changed from the red light to like a yellow, more like an orange light. That means that the humidity of the soil passed a little the set point. And note here that we even can see a little of water over the ground. So if we check again the LED, we see that the pump stopped those water, and now the system will wait this water to enter in the soil, okay, to keep checking the humidity until identify that it's necessary to dose water again. The orange light is important, for example, in scenarios that the humidity is over the set point. That could not be good for a plant also. And as I said, note that once the water was absorbed, now we have already the green light status on. As the soil was so dry, the smart garden dosed a good quantity of the water, and we can see that it will already show us the headlight for level low in the water tank, because we used a lot of water because the soil was so dry. And now I took another plant to do a new test. I have no idea how the soil is for this plant, and it is what we will test with the smart garden. We will test the condition of this plant, okay? I did the same steps to change the plant, and now I will try to add the system here and check the LEDs to see the status. I did the humidity sensor. The hose, and let's see that we can understand through the stats provided by the Smart Garden. Okay. Note that Smart Garden does a little of water to the plant, but as it was already with status green, the system does it just a little and already stop to add water. And this is the control that we expect, that the code can identify that it's okay, the humidity already within the range of the set point that we put there in the code, and keep checking the value, and when needed we'll dose some water just to keep the humidity. That's the difference from a control that is scheduled to add some water daily, like in a predefined time. Here the idea is that the code keep the value of the humidity, the set point, okay? So analyzing the information from the sensor decides if it is or not necessary to dose water to the plant to keep the humidity set point. I will add again some water in the tank just to try to keep the both green lights on, okay? Ensure that currently we code it to show to the user as soon as possible when the user can add water to the tank. But according to the current code, it means almost 50% of water remaining in the tank. And that is the current set point that I did it for the headlight sign, okay? It means more or less 2 days yet being able to control the humidity for the plant. I will add water to see again the change in the LEDs. It turned off the red light. So the next stage is turn on the green when it is in the level high. So that's the presentation of Smart Garden controlling different soil, as we saw. And we have tested with that, the bell pepper, and that other plant. Another function that Smart Garden has is the artificial UV light. So I will turn off the light here in this room to show you how it looks in the dark. Whoa, I like it. I prefer to see it this way. It's so nice. Look that with the UV light we assembled also some blue LEDs just to be cool. That's something that you can customize when assembling your Smart Garden. Maybe you can just use colorful LEDs and let the Smart Garden over your desk, and it will be glowing during the night. And here we still have the 2 green lights. That is the status that we expect it to be in the most part of the time, when the Smart Garden is controlling and apply it to a plant. When needed, the Smart Garden will dose some water. Normally it does once, and it's enough again for a long time, And if we change the plan again, the Smart Garden will check the conditions again and immediately start the control. I will turn on the lights again. Okay, done. And now the UV LEDs are over. And here, as we already saw, is the sensor that detects the lights. And here in the back, we have a deep suite dedicated to the case that we do not have or do not want that UV lights turn on never, you know. So if we just move the deep suite to the off position, the UV LEDs will not turn on, even in the dark. If we prefer this way, you know, we keep it off. Just so the smart garden will just work with the irrigation control. So those are the functions that we have in Smart Garden. I hope that you have enjoyed this video and also the Smart Garden functions. Thank you for watching. This was the Smart Garden unboxing. See you. Bye.